All right, ladies. So word on the street is we're struggling with our gooseneck swing. So I'm going to talk through 2 things that you can do. So regardless of what your weight is, if you're not driving through your feet and using your hip power to make the kettlebell explode off the ground, it's going to be really heavy, and regardless of how heavy your kettlebell is or light your kettlebell is, it's going to be hard to do the gooseneck swing because you have a lot of dead weight fighting against you if you're not using your legs. So what I mean by this, and a drill that we can practice first, is our goblet cleans. So again, you want to stand directly over. You're going to stack your pelvis underneath your rib cage, cut the hips back. And then when we explode up, I want you to try to push so hard as if you were jumping off the ground. And if you need to, let your heels lift off the ground, like so. Also, I should note here, do you see how vertical my chest is? Meaning I'm not pointing my chest bone. If my chest bone is right here, my chest bone isn't pointing to the floor. It's pointing at an angle out in front of me, right? We want to be in that squattier hinge. That's rule number 1 in the bottom of our hinge here. So I'm here. I'm going to explode and catch the kettlebell as high as I can. If you notice here, I'm going to turn slightly more to the side. Look at where my elbows are. They're really close out in front of me, and I'm pinching them in because this is mimicking your gooseneck swing. It's here, right? So one more time. All right. Again, if you need to, get those heels off the ground, jump off the ground until you get more comfortable with that. Keep letting your heels come off. And once you get the hang of that, then try it with keeping your feet planted on the floor. One more time. A drill you can practice with that is also every time you go up for the goblet clean, try to get a little higher. Same thing as the gooseneck. It's just now you're using both hands versus one. So that is step number 1, is creating the power through our lower half. Now, when it comes to your arm technique, the gooseneck swing, I want you to think of, as you're exploding up, you want to keep your elbow glued by your rib cage. Okay. And then you want to pull like you're doing a reverse crunch. Like if I was doing a reverse bicep curl. If I was standing and doing a bicep curl, it would look like so, right? But now we're going to face our palms towards our thighs and pull up this way. That's your gooseneck swing. All right. So the power of the hips again and your feet pushing through the floor is going to make the kettlebell go up really lightly. But then now with our elbow, we're going to pull it in and then bring our wrist up towards our shoulder. Pulling, pulling, pulling. But try to keep your elbow again glued to that rib cage. Think like you have a $100 bill underneath your bicep that you're trying to pinch and hold on to as you do this. So now this time the kettlebell is going to start 2 steps out in front of me. Load it up, and here. So keep that elbow tight by your side and just focus on pulling the kettlebell towards your face. Notice I'm not working on getting higher. I'm just working on understanding the elbow movement. All right. That's another alternative you can do when you're going through the workout if you're really having a hard time understanding the gooseneck swing. Practice that on both sides. You will feel your biceps working and you'll feel the pull coming from the elbow, which connects to your biceps. So as you're going through the workout, again, you can just focus on that elbow pull and just keep the goosenecks around your face here. But practice the drill, the goblet clean drill. That's really going to work the power. And I should have said this to begin with. I highly, highly, highly recommend when you do just the goblet clean, use a heavier bell. Don't use the bell that you're practicing your gooseneck swing with. You want that to be lighter than your goblet clean. Goblet clean, I would actually recommend if you have something near the 20 kg, 44 pounds, somewhere between there and maybe your 14, I would go there. All right, I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any more comments or questions, and please, by all means, again, use our group chat. You can send a video in there, you can send it to me individually, but I hope that helps.